iPhone 13 on us for every customer. Current, new, everyone. To show the love.
Welcome to The Pivot. It's your girl, Stephanie Humphrey, aka Tech Life Steph, and I'm gonna try to help you make a change. So I did a TEDx recently, and you can find it on YouTube. Just search TEDx Stephanie Humphrey. But I talked all about how I made the transition from engineering. I used to be an engineer back in a past life, to becoming a media contributor for nationally syndicated TV shows like Good Morning America. How'd I do it? How can anybody do it? What can you do to make that major transition in your life? So we broke the show up into like themes and topics and different things that you might experience while you are trying to make your pivot. Things like fear, like vision and mindset and support and perseverance, all those things that go into a major life change, all those things you have to work on or overcome or try to get a little bit more of as you're making a change in your life and as you're moving along that journey. So this is The Pivot. We're gonna talk to different people. I'll be interviewing folks. I have guests on the show, and we are all here together to help you make whatever change in your life that you're thinking about right now. And in this first episode, it is all about having the vision and getting your mind right. So vision and mindset. How do we get those two things in alignment so that we are ready to make a change, that we are ready to transition, that we are ready to pivot? And we're out here in front of the African American Museum in DC. And I think this is the perfect place because from what I understand, and I know y'all will correct me in my DMs if I'm wrong, to get this museum made, all of the money had to be raised in advance. So everything had to be a go. All the plans had to be finished. Everything had to be ready before anybody would take a chance on this museum. And that's exactly what they did. They got the money together. They got the plans together. But somebody had to have that vision. And once they had that vision for this amazing place, they had to maintain a mindset that was going to keep them focused on that goal until they had everything in place to make it happen. And now it is the most visited museum in Washington, D.C., in the Smithsonian system. So we're going to get you fixed on that vision, on that mindset. Where do you want to go? What kind of change do you want to make? What's your dream? Let's get this popping. Today, we have a very dear friend of mine, Dr. George James. He is a licensed marriage and family therapist, author, speaker, all around awesome dude. And he is going to help us get set up on getting clear on what our vision is and maintaining our focus with our mindset. Let's get into it. It's The Pivot with Stephanie Humphrey. Stay tuned. It all starts with the vision. It starts with the vision. Thanks for watching The Pivot with Stephanie Humphrey. I am super excited because this is our very first episode and my very first guest is one of my very best friends. This is Dr. George James. He is a licensed marriage and family therapist. He is an author. He is a speaker, and he is the host of the Leapcast podcast. Gee. Thank you so much for being here.
Look, well, intro like that, I feel good. I'm hype. I'm number one. I'm in the best friend category. Oh,
listen,
man, this is good.
You right there. You got the gold, man. You got the gold.
I feel, look, you know how much I love you, care about you, and appreciate all the work that you do. So to be on this platform with you is just awesome. So I'm excited to be here.
Fantastic. So let's get to it. So, we're talking about vision and mindset. We're talking about transitioning. Number one, it's the pivot after all. And we're talking about that transition. But we're talking about the role of vision and mindset in that process. How connected would you say those two things are? And, how important are they to someone that might be looking to make some sort of transition in their life?
Vision is so important. I mean, and for the old heads out there, I can't stop but thinking about like Thundercats and like, thinking about exactly, right? Like how, like, that whole action was really about like thinking about vision. Give me sight beyond sight, right? And how important it is like to see, almost like to see in the future, to see yourself in the future. And I think what happens, especially when we come from a mental health perspective, right, that we have things that impact our ability to see us in the future. The trauma, the negativity, the bad relationships, what somebody said, or even our failures sometimes allows us to maybe not see ourselves in the future, not be able to believe that we can do something or get to a certain place, and that impacts our mindset. So when you talk about the pivot, what does it mean to be able to say, if I'm going to pivot in a new direction, can I see myself there? Can I see my business, my brand in that next direction? And so it's very much connected where you have to, this talk that I've been given and been able to give it to lots of different places, it's called I Give Myself Permission. So it means we have to give ourselves permission to be in the future, to pivot, to be better, to see yourself excelling, see yourself impacting many people. And sometimes our past, our experiences, our family, our the things that have hurt us, impacted us.
All the baggage,
all of that baggage.
You said a whole word, man. So it's interesting that, I hadn't really been thinking about sort of the mental health aspect of it and all of the things that could go into affecting vision and mindset. That's why I have you here. But the idea that they are sort of inextricably linked, and you have to be able to see it, give yourself permission to see it, and then that will inform the mindset going forward. That you said a word right there. That was all right. Well, thanks.
Well, look, I figured I need to bring something. I need to I got to show I'm here for
next episode we'll see. So where did you get your vision for the direction you've taken in your life? Talk very briefly about, sort of how you've pivoted your own brand and where did that vision come from?
Yeah, for me, it all comes back to like family, right? As I've mentioned. And so thinking about my parents coming from Jamaica, all the hard work they did and modeled for me, it was like, okay, hard work is a part of it, but also like going beyond even what is the status quo. So I think I've always believed that I could do more. I think I've always believed that there's something. I believed in purpose. And so I never settled. So with my brand, I've always believed that I can impact people, and the intersection of mental health and media, the intersection of mental health and sports and entertainment has been my thing. And I've been fortunate and blessed to have opportunities, but also, you got to go after it. And so I've been willing to go after it and push forward.
It's one thing to have the vision, but faith without works is dead. So once you get that vision, you got to get out there and start hustling. So so I can appreciate that. And I mean, you are Jamaican, so I mean, you were
all the way. I mean, it's in the background. I kind of faded it out, but it's right there.
Kind of in your DNA to have 11 jobs. So I'm not mad at that. Talk to us about the Leapcast. What is that specifically? What can people expect when they hear it? And then, what are some of the similarities you've seen in the people you interview as it relates to their mindset?
So Leapcast is a podcast that I started for, and Leap stands for leaders, entertainers, athletes, and performers, high achievers, people who are doing amazing, awesome things, people who have maybe made the pivot, and like yourself, who have joined me on the podcast. And what I realized is that sometimes high achievers, people who are awesome, doing great things, don't often have a place where they can talk, right, or to share what
Sure.
they're going through. And sometimes we're so focused on like their achievement, we don't talk about the moment. We don't talk about in between. We don't talk about their family or their upbringing or the things that made them them. And that's what Leapcast is about, having those conversations. And it's just been awesome hearing these stories of what people have gone through. What you see on the front lines, what you see on camera is not the full story. Those people have done and been through a lot to get to where they are.
And is there any sort of commonality as far as like personality, character, something that people can kind of point to and say, well, that makes sense that person would be, successful or high achieving because they have this quality? Was there any sort of thread that ran through for you with the folks you've talked to?
I think the cliche of being prepared and lucky is appropriate, right? So I've just heard people just talk about their skill, their talent, their ability, and then they were fortunate, and then they went after it. And so I think about, for instance, David Mann was in a successful choir and was doing well. That ended, and he took the last dollars he had to go to audition in Chicago for this up and coming director who happened to be Tyler Perry. Right. And then at that point, now his career takes off. So you have to believe in yourself, want that same vision, and bet on yourself and prepare, do all the things necessary, work on your craft, hone it, be that good, and then take that risk, which is sometimes challenging and scary.
That's what I was waiting to hear you say, that most high achievers don't necessarily have an aversion to risk like most people do. And I get it. We got bills, you got mouths to feed, all these other sort of extenuating circumstances that might keep you from, taking the leap, if you will, pun intended. But at the end of the day, you got to be willing to like jump off that diving board.
Yeah. And they have had enough in their family life or experiences to say it's okay to take that leap. And that, if it doesn't work out, I can keep going. And so I've just seen that over and over. And, the other part of the podcast really asked them about mental wellness. And without a doubt, people are talking about what they do and need to do to take care of their mental health and their mental wellness. So it is directly integrated in how they achieve those things that they're doing, is that they take care of their mind, body, and spirit, and they take the risk and they go after it. But they see themselves in the future and they believe it and they go after it.
That's the key there. You gotta see it. You gotta see yourself there.
Love our new Alexa.
It's a Buick.
Yeah, Alexa.
Buick.
Alexa.
It's a Buick.
It's an Alexa. It's a Buick. It's an Alexa. Coach, that's a Buick. That's an Alexa.
The Buick Enclave with available Alexa built in.
Verizon just gave us all a brand new iPhone 13.
We've been customers for years.
I thought new phones were for new customers. We got iPhone 13s too, switched to Verizon 2 minutes ago.
Ours were busted, and we still got a shiny new one.
Check it out. So wait, everybody gets the same great deal.
I think that's the point.
iPhone 13 on us for every customer. Current, new, everyone. On any unlimited plan, starting at just $35. All on the network more people rely on.
Don't you think it's time to get wealthy? I'm Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, and my new show on the Black Star Network focuses on the things your financial advisor or bank isn't telling you. So watch Get Wealthy on the Black Star Network.
How about sushi?
I just had sushi for lunch yesterday.
How about tacos?
Automatic emergency braking, one of 6 advanced safety features standard on every 2022 Chevy Equinox. Find new technology. Find new roads. Chevrolet.
So what do we do when we're around people that don't don't see the vision, people that don't get it. Cause, that was sort of my experience, before I left my job. Like, people just didn't get it. They were like, why are you doing this? What is the point? What are you gonna do? That was the question I got, asked most often. And what do you do? Especially when you can't necessarily separate yourself from those people and you're constantly sort of getting that negative, reinforcement, from other people. Is it our job to convince these people of our vision? Do we need to be selling our vision to people necessarily?
No, I don't believe that we need to sell our vision to anybody other than yourself, right? And, what do they say, right? Haters gonna hate, right? So being able to understand that not everybody's gonna see it. And just like yourself, when I was in my graduate program and going actively on auditions, acting auditions, like people didn't get it. Like, yo, why are you doing so much, right?
Right.
That's not for you to understand. And what I learned is that I just need to understand that, because when I fast forward, I see how important those moments were in my life and the things I was able to do. So you just need to see the vision for yourself, believe it, and not let those people change how you think about yourself and your future. Because that's really what it happens. They start to doubt you, then you start to doubt you, and then you don't do the things you need to do. But you have to hold on to it. The other part that has been great for me while we're friends and connected is that there's a saying that says you are the average of your 5 closest friends. So those people who don't believe in you, you might not be able to get rid of them, but they don't need to be in your inner circle.
Right.
They don't need to know everything about what you're trying to do. The people who believe in you, those are people you need to hook up with and stay connected to.
Find your tribe.
That's right.
It's so true. It is so true. We'll have an episode on support later on in the season, and it just resonates so strongly that is one of the key things. Like, you're not going to be able to do this as much as you have to have that vision for yourself. You're also not going to be able to do this alone. So that support is critical, but it has to be from people that want to see you do well, because there are so many people out here that are just waiting, like with the popcorn, waiting for you to fail and waiting to say I told you so, and waiting to say, see, I knew it wasn't going to work out. That was crazy that you even thought that way in the first place. Like, who told you could go be on television or be an entrepreneur or open up a small business? Like, there are people out here like that get so much pleasure out of that, that you really have to stay just very almost laser focused on that vision once you get it. So how do we do that? How do you maintain it? It's one thing to wake up one day and have a vision and say, I think I want to do, oh my God, I think I'm called to do this. But just like you made that connection, once you have that vision, that mindset is what keeps you, focused on that vision and propels you forward to try to achieve that vision. So how do we stay focused and keep our mindset where it needs to be to achieve that vision?
With all the people that will thrive or be excited with your failure, there are tons of people that will be excited for your success, right? So I'm excited for you, Steph, and your success. And I know you feel the same way about me.
Absolutely.
And so in terms of keeping the mindset, it's really important. I actually learned this from my best friend in college, and he is just such an example of this. When I was in college, this guy would put his goals and dreams up on the bathroom mirror, the bathroom we shared. So every time I would get up and brush my teeth, I'm seeing his goals.
That's right.
Like, why am I focusing on his goals? It was a constant reminder. So then I started doing the same thing. And he has not stopped. He went even deeper, right? He now has this thing called a goal card, the thing that he is trying to achieve and go for. So in terms of keeping the mindset, what are you doing to remind you of what you're trying to achieve? I have reminders on my phone. I have a big board in my office space. What are the goals that you're trying to achieve? And how do you remind yourself? Because if you don't remind yourself over and over and over, the distractions will come in, the doubt will come in, and everything else. So that is one of the ways you stay laser focused. Put it someplace visible. Make it an appointment that pops up every day on your phone as a reminder. Talk about it with other people. That's how you stay in, as they say, in the pocket, laser focused, trying to get there.
Those are some major keys, man. I will definitely have to make sure I recap those for people, but that's a good thing, that repetition, that seeing that thing every single day and reminding yourself that this is what you want. And then, like you said, you can't tell everybody, you can't share the vision with everybody, but sharing it with some people can help keep you accountable as well, because those people that care about you and want to see you do well will be asking about progress in a supportive way. Like, hey, did you get those 3 pages written today that you said you were going to write for that book? Or did you because you said we need this book to happen. So, I need you to get to that Starbucks and get them pages done. I
believe in you. You got your voice is important. Absolutely. You got to get out there. Right. Come on. Right.
Absolutely. That is the type of support we need. And those are some really, really great and helpful tips on how to maintain that focus. I might have to start doing something else, man.
Hey, look, I learned from other people.
Get my phone right now and set me some reminder. Set me a daily reminder. You can do it. Like,
look, I got a reminder that says like dream big. Hey, I have a thing that pops up every day. Dream big. I'm like, yes. I don't see it every day, but when I do see it, I'm like, yes, dream big. Let's do it.
Just that little thing. And sometimes that's all you need. It's just that little nudge. You know what I mean? That little nudge, because you already got the vision. And if it's that thing that you can't stop thinking about, you wake up every day thinking about it, you go to sleep every day thinking about it, you're dreaming about it, there's something don't ignore that, is my point. When you have that thing in your head that just keeps kind of gnawing at the back, and, all those other excuses that are telling you why you can't do it seem to get drowned out because you can't help but think about this thing. Don't ignore that. And just start the process. It doesn't have to be, this big splashy, I'm leaving my job today to go and do this thing, but, start the process, hone that mindset, just focus in on what you really want to do, and then plan and execute, which we will also be talking about in future episodes, the plan and the execution, because those are also really, really key. Dr. George, where can people go to find you and find out more about what you do?
The best place is the website, georgetalks.com. Social media, you can also find me on Instagram and Twitter. My handle is @GeorgeTalks. And, I will also just quickly add, what I found myself is coming back to the same thing. I couldn't get rid of it. It kept coming back to my mind. I kept seeing myself, even when I didn't believe it. And that is a sign that is also a part of your vision and your future. That's media, right. Keep coming back. Why keep getting these opportunities? So I just want to offer that. I would love to stay connected with anybody, support anybody, but also partner with the right people. And I'm so glad that Steph, you and I have been connected and partnered. And I know you got amazing things coming up.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for your friendship, for your support, for being here today. I totally appreciate you and Candace and Neilani and Alex, the whole family, the whole James clan.
The tribe. That's right.
Right. The tribe, my tribe. Absolutely. George, thank you again so much for being on The Pivot with Stephanie Humphrey.
Anytime.
Verizon just gave us all a brand new iPhone 13.
We've been customers for years.
We got iPhone 13s too. Switched 2 minutes ago, literally right before this.
iPhone 13 on us on any unlimited plan for every customer, with plans starting at just $35. All on the network more people rely on.
Love our new Alexa.
It's a Buick.
Yeah, Alexa.
Buick.
Alexa.
It's a Buick.
It's an Alexa.
It's a Buick.
It's an Alexa.
Coach, that's a Buick.
That's an Alexa.
The Buick Enclave with available Alexa built in.
Pull up a chair, take your seat. The Black Tape with me, Dr. Greg Carr, here on the Black Star Network. Every week, we'll take a deeper dive into the world we're living in. Join the conversation only on the Black Star Network.
So what's on your vision board? Everything has to start here. You have to see it to believe it. And then you have to maintain a focused mindset to achieve it. I want to thank Dr. George James for being on the show today. He helped us with a lot of things. And I think some of the key takeaways were, number one, you don't have to have the whole vision all at once. You just have to believe, and you can start and build and plan and grow from there. Number two, everybody ain't going to be on board with the vision. You can't tell your vision to everybody, and it's not your job to convince anyone of your vision either. As long as you believe it, you can give yourself permission to go out and do the work and set your mind to do what you need to do. Take advantage of apps to help you. Here's a tech tip for you. An app like Dreamer is free. It's a free vision board app that can help you with pictures and planners and all kind of different things in the app, in the free app, that can help you execute your vision. Or an app like Canva, Evernote, or Trello can also help you keep track of all the stuff you have going on in your head and get that vision down on paper so you can start focusing on it. But whatever you do, make sure you hold that vision close, make sure you protect that vision, and then focus on that mindset and get to work. It's time to pivot, y'all. I'm your host, Stephanie Humphrey, and I thank you for watching.